Hello YouTube. So any of you that know me reasonably well will understand that I relish the chance to jump on a nationalist bandwagon and get behind anybody flying the great British flag. And outside of sport, there are few events that allow you to do this that are as big and camp and sparkly as the Eurovision Song Contest. This is the 59th Eurovision Song Contest, and ever since Switzerland clinched the title in 1956 with only 14 competing nations, the competition has grown and now even includes some countries that technically aren't really in Europe. I mean, Israel has won it 3 times, and Azerbaijan, since its first debut in 2008, has won it once and reached the top 10 every single year that it's competed. But, you know, who cares? More the merrier, eh? For those of you that somehow don't know how this works, Americans, the competition consists of each country choosing an act and a song to represent their nation, and these days the scoring is decided by a 50-50 split between a public televote and a voting jury, and then the winning nation gets to host it the following year. Eurovision has noble roots and was originally a way of uniting a continent divided by war and political ideology, and it's always tried to do its best to be inclusive and to not play any political games, although in the past there have been some accusations of vote rigging. Bloc voting is also a thing, and then there's Russia. We'll come on to Russia later. Eurovision often gets a bad rap in the UK, and who can blame us when we think that sending acts like Gemini and Scooch is a good idea. Gemini competed in 2003 and they actually got no points from the public vote. I cried for 3 solid days afterwards. Oh, the pain. The thing is, I love this contest. It's cheesy, but it's a celebration of nations coming together in the name of music and performance, and I like that in this cynical modern-day world that we live in. Also, the drinking games are guaranteed to get you sloshed, so I wanted to give you guys a rundown of the particular acts that I'm particularly looking forward to seeing this year, because you too will be watching on Saturday the 10th of May. Right? Right? First of all, the woman from Austria, who is actually a man who grows a better beer than I can, Conchita Wurst. Conchita isn't the first drag queen to compete in Eurovision. Ukraine 2007, anyone. But Conchita's a little bit different because she's not just a novelty act, she can really bloody sing. And she's really been outspoken about what she wants to do in terms of trying to promote tolerance and the grey area of sexuality amongst Europeans. She's received quite a lot of hate from a number of Europe's more socially conservative countries, but she's actually expected to do really well, not least because her song Rise Like a Phoenix is a really big, belting, like, Bond-style ballad, so keep your eye out for her. And from one subtle use of sexuality to something slightly more brash, it's Donatan and Cleo from Poland. Oh, Poland. How we've missed you. This is just like YouTube 2007, with their music video thumbnail being a pair of breasts and the actual music video itself being more of the same, essentially. This is either misogyny at its finest, or Slavic women taking their sexuality by the horns and seductively making it bread. We know this is going to do well because there aren't enough blind straight men in Europe to counteract the inevitable boost this song is going to get. But I guess we should just sit back and enjoy it, I suppose. You should pay attention to Ukraine this year, not just because their singer looks a little bit like YouTube's very own musical Bethan. Just me? No? Or because they've somehow managed to polish their turd of a song into something reasonably respectable, but because Russia keep on trying to take bits of their country away. Since Russia annexed Crimea from Ukraine, nobody's really been sure how the votes from that region are going to be counted. Russian Google Maps says that Crimea is part of Russia, which kind of goes contrary to what everybody else thinks. Ukraine will probably get a lot of sympathy votes this year, but that's not to take away from the fact that their singer, Maria Yaremchuk, can really belt out a fantastic performance. Don't expect her to win though, but sit back and be entertained by her and her spinning hamster wheel. Speaking of Russia. Oh, Russia. It feels like they've deliberately chosen the most inoffensive act possible with the Tolmachevi sisters, but that didn't, unfortunately, stop them getting booed when they went through to the final earlier this week. It was all a bit awkward, and the broadcaster tried to lower the volume of the booing, and it was all just a bit awkward. There are big Russian diasporas throughout Europe, so this song is probably going to do reasonably well, but it'll be interesting to see how the broadcasters try and tone down the inevitable boos when the scores come in. Also, keep your eye out for the inevitable cheeky cut to a rainbow flag in the audience. That's always fun. Armenia is the favourite going into the final at the moment because the song is repetitive and has dubstep, and I do love it for those reasons, but whenever it's performed by Amran MP3, it always feels like he's a bit bored, tired, something's up. He's also had a bit of a clash with the aforementioned Conchita Wurst and saying a badly timed joke where he said that her lifestyle wasn't natural or something along those lines, but apparently that was a misunderstanding and they've all kissed and made up now in a perfectly natural way. The bookies like this and I like this, but unless he starts performing beyond scrunching up his face a little bit and relying on pyrotechnics, I think this might end up being a flop. Meow. I have to talk about the UK because blatant national bias, but the thing is I don't want to jinx it. I really don't want to jinx it. But our entry, Molly, might actually, she might win. That's exciting. Despite the fact that she's a really good singer, she wrote the song herself, she's a fantastic performer, and she's easy on the eyes, there's also something else that I've noticed that almost guarantees us a win. The last time we won was 1997 with Katrina and the Waves singing Love Shine a Light. And then before that it was 1981 with Bucks Fizz singing Making Your Mind Up. Lulu won in 1969 with Boom Bang a Bang. And then in 1967 Sandy Shaw won with Puppet on a String. What do all of these songs have in common, I hear you ask? They all have 4 words in the title. Then how many words does Molly's song, Children of the Universe, have in the title? So I hope that gives you something to chew on. Let me know what you guys think of Eurovision. I understand that I'm a little bit obsessed, but do you think that the competition succeeds in uniting Europe in song and performance? Do you think we should be booing Russia? Who is your favourite to win? As always, let me know in the comments below. I love having a chat with you guys. I will also be live tweeting the final on Saturday, so make sure you check your TV listings and then follow me on @JazzaJohn. And equally, if you want to run away from the inevitable barrage of tweets that you're going to get about the Eurovision final, then feel free to unfollow me for an evening. I have been Rhyming with Oranges. Subscribe if you liked it. Goodbye. This is either misogyny at its finest, or Slavic women taking their sexuality by the horns and seductively making it bread.